Now playing the Dame Taft Movie Show.
It's starting again.
It's the Dame Taft Movie Show, hosted by my nephew, Screww.
Thank you, Auntie. Yes, it is the Dame Taft Movie Show. I am Screww. Please welcome the star of the show, filmmaker and author, Harrison Smith.
H-bomb.
Click, click. Yo, good evening, H-bomb.
It never gets old.
Stop shaking your head. You love it. You love the attention.
Boys, oh boys, we have a guest today.
We have a guest today, H-bomb. We have a very special guest.
We do.
Please welcome our special guest, BVG. How do you say there, Flapjack?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey, good to have this all together.
Yeah. From what I've gleaned on our pleasant interactions on social media, you have a background in the film industry. Am I correct in that?
Yeah, film and TV.
All right. Share with us whatever you would care to divulge briefly, just to give the viewers some background here.
Sure. Yeah. So I worked independently, writing, directing, producing my own films. Biggest thing, I sold one film to Sony Classics. Did that and worked in TV for years. That was mostly my day job.
So basically, you are qualified to sit on this esteemed panel with two fellow filmmakers.
In what area with television?
I worked for both, Disney initially, then ABC. We bought ABC, and NBC Universal in initially production, and then photography.
Got it.
Yeah.
There you go, NBC Universal.
I'm pretty sure you've already seen this movie here, H-bomb. We'll watch some clips here and we'll pause for a brief introductory Oof. Oh, I don't like the sound
Norman
of that.
Bates is judged, restored to sanity, and is ordered released forthwith.
What about his victims? Just like I said, they let him go. I'll call you later. Are you satisfied, Doctor? Turning a murderer loose on an innocent public?
Mrs. Loomis, Norman was not convicted of murder. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity. And since he is...
All right, yes, a Psycho 2 from 1983, sequel to the Hitchcock movie. You gentlemen have both seen this, correct?
Yes.
Many times.
You have, yeah. I figured you had, H-bomb. BVG was already aware we're going to cover this, and he has seen it recently as well. Anthony Perkins, terrific in this movie. In assembling these clips, I caught something that I don't think I caught before. He has all these little nuances and twitches that really make it, they make it enjoyable. It's really a terrific performance. Very pleasing to the audience members.
Like his pronunciation of cutlery.
Cutlery. Exactly. And there was this funny moment I caught just when I was editing these clips here. We just saw it, but we'll see it again when Robert Loggia here is Dr. Raymond.
Dr.
Raymond. Simon Oakland played Dr. Richmond in Psycho, and this is Dr. Raymond. Even though they kind of look alike, I thought they were supposed to be the same character, but no, the quarter of a century time has passed, and so it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, they're not the same. They're not the same character.
The Dr. Oakland character comes back, I think, in Psycho 4.
Dr. Richmond, played by Simon Oakland.
Dr. Richmond comes back. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have named the character Dr. Oakland as a homage.
Yeah.
We'll talk about those sequels briefly here, but watch the little head twitch Perkins gives when we'll play the scene again when the doctor says that he was not guilty.
Yeah, and the only scene where him and Vera Miles are together in the film.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. Yeah, the only two returning cast members from the 1960 movie. Watch this.
He was found not guilty by reason of insanity, and since he is...
that little head jerk when he says not
Yeah.
guilty, as if to say, yeah, what he said. Yeah, you heard the doctor. Yeah. Was it calculated? Was it? I just like that kind of stuff. All right.
Probably.
I've
Look at the
got
map.
lots of stories about this and Anthony Perkins.
Look at the matte painting. The
Oh,
Albert
yeah.
Whitlock matte painting there to cover up the Universal Studios.
Cover up the Jaws ride.
Have you kids been to the Universal Studios? You must have.
I worked there.
You did.
I worked on the Universal lot, not the park, but the right next to
Yeah,
it.
the
So
lot. That's where I worked too. Yeah.
yeah. Did you?
Yep.
I
was 18.
okay. I was only in Universal Studios once 50 years ago, back when the main attraction at the time was the Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man. Most of their attractions were based on those two shows. We got to see the shark. We got to go by the house. I didn't know what the house was at the time because I hadn't seen the movie. You guys can confirm this. I believe that the house is not built to scale. It's just a facade. It's
Correct.
Yeah, a little bit smaller and not a practical shooting location by any means. Everything is sets. Yeah. All right. So he's coming back home. He can't go home again. And already things start to go a little hinky. Strange notes.
Yes, the notes. Fix your own dinner.
And we, the audience, are wondering, is it his imagination or something else?
Mother?
Norman.
Here we have the Hitchcock shot coming up.
And that's his son. That's Perkins' son. That's Osgood Perkins.
Yeah. I saw that in the credits. Is that his son a director now or something? Okay.
I'm Norman Bates, the new cook's helper.
Oh, yes, Doctor.
She was great.
About you. I'm the one who urged Mr. Statler to give you the job. I think it's very Christian to forgive and forget, don't you?
I sure do.
So do I.
So he goes to work at the diner here, right?
We have a diner down the road from me that looks just like, and that's why I love eating there.
Yeah. And we get to meet Mrs. Spool here. We'll talk more about her later. We'll talk more about her later.
Now this
go
diner,
ahead.
The diner is a callback from the original when Marion comes there and he says there's a diner about 10 miles down the road.
Yeah.
Right. Think it's probably the same one. Sure, why not? Hey, real quick trivia for both of you. What's the town that Norman lives in?
Fairville.
Yeah.
Well, if it was the same diner, which it probably was, if you see Psycho 3, you know that Ralph Statler did not run the diner then. That was the other guy that was in the old folks home. And he was the one who hired Mrs. Spool.
Yeah, at the time of the original film. That's right. Well, you guys are well versed. See, that's fine. I don't have to do anything here except pull the clips.
Baron Von Grimm, I don't mean to step on you.
No.
I love this movie. So it shows, I guess.
Pop in any time here. I got the pause button. Here's where we meet Meg Tilly. She works at the diner with him, and she needs a ride.
So you can get home safely.
I don't have a home.
I own a motel not too far from here. And you'd be welcome to spend the night in one of the empty rooms.
FOC.
But no, that's very nice of you, but I don't want to impose. Something wrong with the room?
No, just go up and wait for me, okay?
Enter Franz Man.
Yeah, Dennis Franz. Mr. Toomey.
Mr. Toomey, at the height of his powers here, just came off 3 De Palma films, 4 if you count his ADR at the beginning of Scarface. And before NYPD Blue, around the time of Hill Street Blues, where he played not 1 but 2 different characters.
He played in Popeye as well too. He was the leader of the tough guys that Robin Williams beats up.
Was he?
That gang, the ruffians, or
the ruffians, yeah.
Look, I'm gonna go home.
And by the way, didn't your aunt? She believes that Meg Tilly was miscast.
I concur. Yeah, we'll talk. Well, it's a lousy performance.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right. Hang on.
I don't want to shit on anything just yet.
Perkins hated her.
You're running here.
Did he?
Yeah.
The kind that makes money.
People come here to party. They stay a few hours and then they leave.
You're fired. I want you out of here tomorrow.
All right, so he's already making enemies there just to make things worse for his situation. Hey, what you gentlemen, what was your reaction to this movie at the time of its release? This is a long time ago, and it was significant because they weren't really cranking out the sequels like they were. It's almost as if Universal said, "Hey, Jaws 2 made a lot of money. What else can we do that with? I've got it." And go ahead, but your initial reactions seeing it at its time,
Well, I'll let
BVG?
the good Baron go first since I've been yapping. So let's
Well,
let this gentleman go.
this came out in what, 82, 83?
83, yeah.
83.
I was 10, so I have no memory of my first time seeing it, and also I don't remember, like, I can't remember the first time I saw Psycho. So I don't remember the shock from that, the surprise, and then, oh, they're making a sequel, which is, they're making a sequel to a classic movie. So right there, that's a huge, huge issue, which, again, I don't remember if there was a big uproar at the time, and I was 10. So I just remember certain scenes from it. I remembered all that, but I couldn't remember, my first reaction to it.
H-Bomb, I bet you saw it for the first time on cable.
No, I saw it in theaters.
Me too.
I saw it in theaters. I went with a girl to go see it, and I went in fully expecting to hate it.
Great date movie.
In fact, I was talking so much shit about it that she even said, she goes, "Then why are we here?"
What's your problem? Why do you go in with preconceived notions?
Because at the time, like you said, making a sequel to, especially to a hallowed film like Psycho, and they did. This was at the height. This was when the slasher movie peaked, and
that's another thing I want to mention.
They did an interview with him. I want to say it was Newsweek or People. I'm not sure which one, but it was a magazine that I read, and he said something. They quoted him, and I'm paraphrasing him, but he said something along the line of, "Norman's been away. He comes home to find that the motel is kind of a flop house, and Mother doesn't like that." And I thought, so we're going to get Friday the 13th, in the motel. It's going to be a bunch of naked teenagers getting killed, and they went the low route. And then I go in, and by the way, we biked to the movie theater because I wasn't driving yet. And it was so good. By the time it was done, I walked out. I called my mom from a payphone. I said, "I'm going to catch the next show," and I watched it again. I walked right back in and watched it again.
Really? Okay, so you had a really good experience. Go ahead, BBG.
I loved it. I was surprised because I so fully expected to hate it. And here you got this cool kind of story, right? Where Norman is actually this sympathetic character, although he was sympathetic in some ways in the original. But in this one, like, you really feel bad. It all comes down to, if they would have just left him alone, he'd probably been fine.
Yeah, I put this in the same category as 2010 sequel to, again, a classic Howard movie that in tone and everything is completely different from the original, but it's a lot better than it should have been.
Yeah.
It's a good movie on its own without, comparing it. This, and it's the thing about what there's what I liked and what I didn't like about this movie. Seeing it at different points in my life, I just remembered it being a lot better than anybody expected.
Yeah.
And rewatching it again, I love the story. It's a great story because while he was
Tom Holland wrote it.
Yes. Fright Night.
Fright Night.
We'll get.
That's my favorite vampire movie of all time.
Hang on. We'll get to Tom Holland. Hang on. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was saying, so it was better than it should have been, that anybody was expecting it to be. But for me, I like that it's not stylist, even though he tries to do some certain shots, Hitchcock shots from the first, but it doesn't overly lean on it. So tone wise, it's not that kind of movie. And the only slasher parts of it, and obviously it had to be part of the deal, was just the actual murder scenes were done in that 80s overly over the top fashion.
Especially Vera Miles's death.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on. Don't jump ahead. We'll get to that. But you gentlemen both mentioned two things that I put in my notes here. Exactly. First, the tone. Yes, different tone. And on into the third film, which we'll talk about at the end here. The tone is different in that one too. And that's okay with me. First of all, the type of filmmaking in Psycho, you couldn't really emulate that in 83 without it being obvious or distracting. So yeah, they picked the right tone and they picked the right director. And as far as the slasher aspect, yes, that's significant too, because right, this is right at that time. In fact, this was the inspiration for most of the well-known slasher movies.
Right.
So to have it come and drop down in the middle of that when that genre was really in its heyday, and yeah, but some people didn't like that it lent itself to the times, shall we say? But I think that was natural and kind of unavoidable.
Yeah.
A- And
Well, and also, they almost cast your favorite lady, Jamie Lee Curtis, in the part of Meg Tilly.
I was going to mention her too. Meg Tilly may not be good, but at least she's not Jamie Curtis. Okay,
Yeah.
let's hang
And
off on
Perkins, I mean, not to throw all this useless trivia, but Perkins really disliked her and lobbied. He wanted Richard Franklin to fire her. He tried to get her fired several times, and the reason why that I heard was because she didn't really understand his pedigree and the big deal of him returning to the role. And I guess she said to someone on set, like, why is everybody making such a big deal over him coming back to this? And I guess it got back to him, and that was it. That's why in Psycho 3, there's no mention of her, save for the book she was reading in Psycho 2. She's reading In the Belly of the Beast.
Yeah, we see it on the ground there.
You
next
see
to
it on
the
the
hand,
ground, just tossed away.
The handprint
Right?
on the window.
That's
from the
his
victim. Yeah.
FU to her. Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let's watch some clips. Here, please. All right, again, so all these scenes to keep the audience on their heels, and it's kind of fun. Now, I will say, the way the movie uses these scenes is it became more of a darkly humorous thing, trope in Psycho 3, which was fine with me. But here it's just kind of just to let the air out a little bit, so it's not a complete melodrama. So I think they're well done in the context of the movie. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Let's watch some clips. All right, so he's working at the diner. And again, we're getting another note here. Don't let that little whore in my house again. Love, Mother. Strangely enough, I get notes like this from my auntie from time to time based on the company I keep.
Screw.
I could see that. She's probably got
Finish
very,
taping the
very
show
strict rules.
And come rub my feet.
Yes, auntie. Yes. Okay. See, we do little comedy segments here on the show, BVG.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for stepping on my bit, H-bomb.
Sorry.
All right. But most importantly, gentlemen, look at this. 2 hamburgers, 2 French fries, 2 Pepsis for only $5.70.
Holy cow.
I'll take 10. Why can't we have this anymore? What the? I want to go to that diner. Oh, what has happened to us? What were we talking about? Okay, let's continue. Nothing. I get nothing out of these guys. Oof, tough room.
Well,
Okay.
well, real fast, if I can throw in, since you got the picture on him right there, he got me my job at Universal Studios.
Who did? Perkins?
Really?
Perkins.
Get out of here.
I lied my way right in through his secretary, Jackie Laster.
Did you meet
because
him?
I was failing out of Penn State. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I ended up calling. It's a long story why I called out there. My roommates put me up to it. And I lied, said I was the editor of the Penn State Collegian. She starts talking to me. And before you know, she's like, you went to Penn State? I went to Penn State. And so we started talking Penn State. And I said, I might be moving out there soon. She says, well, if you ever move out here, you let me know. You bring me a Penn State hoodie. I'll get you in to see Tony Perkins. And that's what happened.
You met the man.
I met the man, and he walked me around the lot and said, well, what is it you're here for? Like, you moved out here? That's what Jackie told me. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, I guess you're looking for a job. And I got a job on Murder, She Wrote as a paid production assistant.
And he didn't hit on you?
Nope.
What the?
Nope.
Hey, if it's any consolation, H-bomb, I would have hit on you. All right. If I was Tony Perkins. You understand.
Well, I did have that cheesy porno mustache at the time.
Well, that's cool. See, BVG, how I managed to pick out a movie and he just runs with it.
I'm sorry, BVG.
How did I know? No. I was making a point here that that's why I didn't have to tell you what we were going to cover, because you'd be able to roll with it anyway.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch some clips.
Cut it out, Toomey!
Norman.
Come on.
This scene is pivotal.
Oh, that's beautiful. Go on, Psycho. Pick it up. Come on. Or do you only attack women, huh?
But Toomey gets his comeuppance. I think that might be the only time in at least the first two movies where that word is used, the P word.
Yeah, it wasn't used in the first one that I remember.
Right. So here's Mr. Toomey. He shouldn't have. I don't care for that makeup.
As I say, it looks like Dennis Franz wearing a Dennis Franz face.
I was looking in the credits to see, was this a makeup person that we might be familiar with? No. I think he's just a regular makeup guy. I know he's supposed to have a waxy complexion, but yeah. But what I wanted to emphasize, and we just heard it, that sound effect was unique.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a musical sting, and it wasn't the usual, every time we were talking about over enthusiastic sound people in our previous episode, H-Bomb, how every object has to make a sound. And anytime someone picks up a knife off a table, it's got to go swing.
Shing.
Yeah. But this sound effect, listen to it again, because I have a theory on what, sometimes they combine two sounds to get, listen to this. Sounds like one of them screech owls.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and
Yeah.
and I actually, again, another thing I appreciated about this movie, but they didn't use the
Right.
sound cues, not
You hear a
the
moment of it with Lila's death
yeah.
when you see
They
the knife in her mouth.
yeah, I mean the movie definitely did its things to, callbacks to the first one. There's the the zoom pull out, shot at the
Yeah,
door,
yeah.
which was really weird the way it was done right there. There's the shower scene, but it's all just flat. It's just, hey, this is the same camera angle that we used in the shower. Same thing with pulling the car out with the chain, the camera right there when they're pulling it out of the
Right. Yeah.
the lake and stuff. They just kind of redid some of the same shots, but it wasn't annoying, but I
No.
really I don't really like those callbacks in a sequel. I'm not a big fan of sequels for the most part, but when they start calling back like, hey, remember me from the first movie? Yeah.
Yeah, they give you just enough to pay homage and to kind of rekindle that feel, but without stolen valor. I agree
Yeah.
with you. I think it's all tastefully done. I guess the credit has to go to director Richard Franklin, who was a terrific choice for this film, it turns out.
Ah, ah,
Go ahead.
I felt, again, rewatching it recently, because like I said, last time I saw it may have been my 20s or 30s, and I just remember, really liking it, watching it as an adult. Because once I hit my 20s, that's when I really got into, Hitchcock. I mean, I watched the movies growing up, but really appreciated them, started getting into all his films and stuff, and, love Psycho, which, by the way, let me tell you, I got to experience, I don't remember the first time I saw Planet of the Apes. So I don't remember that shock of, oh, it was us, damn it. Same thing with Psycho. But the Baroness here had never seen Psycho and knew nothing. She did not know anything about the twist. So I got to watch it with her, and I'm waiting and waiting, going, is she going to figure this out? Like, this was 1960, so are people hip to it now? Up to the last moment, she had no idea that it was Norman until,
That's terrific.
it was great to finally see experience that with somebody who hadn't seen it.
That's something that's on my mind a lot, getting to experience those significant cinematic moments before they get spoiled, because if you wait too long, they just become part of the popular culture. And I had not seen Psycho when I saw this movie. Maybe bits on TV. I might have seen the whole thing on TV. I don't recall, but it didn't really have a bearing on my enjoyment of this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Same thing. I think I saw Empire Strikes Back before I saw Star Wars. I don't remember the first time I saw Star Wars. I don't remember when
I read the novelization of Empire Strikes Back before I saw the movie because I was hiking across the desert. Kind of like you do. You roam through the desert, BVG. Let's watch some clips.
Hi.
All right. So what's her nose in her Roy Orbison haircut comes to stay with Norman here. Oddly, we'll find out why later in the movie. All right. Here's the perfunctory shower scene. Now, sadly, in addition to her bad performance, she uses a body double. We get a couple glimpses of nudity here, but it's not the actress. So my question is, why not just hire the body double? The performance could not have been much worse. All right. And so there's a peeper there.
Because probably some executive at the studio wanted to bang her.
Yes. And she did marry a producer, Tim Zinnemann, if I'm not mistaken, who produced movies like The Long Riders. And I guess he was related to Fred Zinnemann. Anyway, I'm getting into the weeds here.
Who is this? My mother is dead.
All right. So things are going all screwy here. And what is it? Is it his mother? Or, and the killings resume. That's not good.
There's the teenagers getting laid.
Getting their comeuppance for being sinful.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially in mother's basement.
Don't have sex out of wedlock.
Now, right there, that's a problem.
Go ahead.
Aside from the effects, the stabbing effects were not good in this scene. But you see the streaks on the window.
Right.
Later on in the film, Sheriff Hunt comes in.
I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Right. And he asks Meg Tilly, are you sure you cleaned up down here? And it's very clear on the window, those streaks are gone. But in Psycho 3, the streaks are back on the window.
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
You ever write your name on the mirror, then and
then
fog and wipe it off, and then you put it back and it comes back up? That's what happened. It's the grease from the fingerprints was still there, and so once the dust came back, you could see the pattern there. That explains it. You okay with that?
I'll give that.
All right.
And the sheriff was also more interested in his sandwich. So
yeah, that big roast. What was it, a Reuben or something?
How come you don't know? How come you don't know what kind of sandwich?
Into it.
And the fact that they held on to him for a few seconds just for him to appreciate that sandwich before he eat it. It was a nice touch.
Give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper to go. I'm in a goddamn hurry. All right.
What alibi?
There's your boy.
There's a girl staying out there with him, and she says that he was with her at the time the murder took place.
What's her problem?
There's Tom Holland.
I don't know.
Yes, that's why I put a pause in here, because I knew you'd say that, and I knew it too. Yeah, Tom Holland, the fellow who wrote the film. Now, I'm sure you gentlemen know, or at least one of you does, that Robert Bloch wrote a Psycho 2 novel.
I read it.
Not the basis of this movie. Correct?
Has nothing to do. It's almost like a meta story where Norman goes to work at like Universal Studios. He doesn't go there. Well, I don't want to give away if anybody read the book, but Norman never even makes it. It's like this whole it's like Scream.
Yeah.
That's what the book really is.
Really?
It's kind of like Scream on a movie set.
Oh, so it's like inside references and stuff?
It's a lot of inside references to the Psycho story, and that they made they're making a movie out of it.
Really?
And there was this whole thing, but the big twist at the end is the killer isn't Norman.
Did you enjoy the novel? No, okay.
I didn't think it was particularly well written, and I was kind of like, I was so in love with the movie that the book was just
So they made it a good decision to go with Tom Holland, who came up with a really good screenplay. I have quibbles with it, but overall, if you couldn't do much better with this material.
Right, it's a heck of a thing to be ordered up this for your assignment.
That was probably the most successful part of the movie that they did was the story, the screenplay, because again they took granted, like, he was empathetic in the first one, that's for sure, but he's ultimately the killer. But you're rooting for him in this one. You're rooting for him. And
you're rooting for him.
And they took the good guy, Vera Miles' character from the first one, and made her out to be, crazy bitch.
Role reversal, exactly. Yeah, that was a clever touch.
Yeah, and so that was that was the best part about this movie was the story that he put together. So, kudos.
I read the short story on which Psycho was based. I think Bloch expanded it to a novel. Of course, Joseph Stefano wrote the screenplay for the original movie, but there was a short story, had no hotel in it or motel in it or anything.
Huh.
Either of you guys happen to read that?
No,
I've never read the original book, actually.
Yeah.
I read Block's biography,
Yeah.
but I've never read the original Psycho book.
It's just a short story, and at the end, it turns out that the two characters we've been dealing with are one person. It's got nothing to do with the movie. I vaguely remember it, but I read it.
Mm.
All right, let's look at some clips. Tom Holland, yes. There's a funny cameo there. He's not much of an actor.
But he did. You know another role he did?
Go ahead.
Another role that he did that might be of interest to your aunt. He did an episode of The Incredible Hulk where he played a character named Frank Silva.
No kidding.
And Frank Silva is the actor who played Bob in Twin Peaks.
No, Frank Silva is the harbor master.
The harbor master in Jaws.
What's the name of the actor who played Bob? Anyway, I think it's Silva. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, well, he was an actor before he became a screenwriter.
Yeah.
I mean, as that would indicate. So, yeah, this isn't his only acting role, but I think he was a better screenwriter.
Yeah.
Sheriff, and say Bates was with you this afternoon.
Mother.
Okay.
This isn't how it was. It was all fixed up.
He saw me in the window like we planned. Then he went into a room and saw the stuff. Then, when he went looking for her, I locked the attic door behind him. He was trapped in there for hours while I took everything down the back stairs. So you see, he couldn't have done it.
What difference does it make?
So the plot is revealed here that what's her name, Lila Loomis, wants to make him go crazy and get him recommitted. And do you like my editing there, where I cut those scenes together with?
Yeah, it was well done.
Now here's the fun part is deconstructing this story and how anyone could actually pull it off.
I hope you're going to make the same point I'm about to make.
You go first, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're revealed that she's the daughter. They're in on a scam, right? So that gives me to go, wait a second. She was working at that diner. How did she know that he was going to get a job at that diner? So she had to have been set up there working for quite a while, right? Because and of course the mother character worked there as well. He gets a job there, and then at the exact time, does she have a boyfriend, or is that just that she's breaking up with her boyfriend? It's like the timing of all that. You have to buy that without thinking about it, because how did she know that he was going to get a job there? That he was first going to get released. You didn't know he was going to get released, and that he was going to get a job there of all places. So she's set up there waiting for him already without having any possible way of knowing any of that. So you just kind of have to not think about that.
The whole thing is preposterous.
Yeah.
I didn't latch on to that part. That's just another thing to make you go, oh. Sometimes I just admire the audacity of a movie. We were talking about Clint Eastwood or Dirty Harry movies a while back, H-Bomb, and like the car chase with the miniature car rigged with explosives.
Oh yeah.
And a driver chasing Dirty Harry while operating that car. It's just so preposterous, and yet the audacity to think, oh no, we're going to do that. We're actually going to do that. We're going to commit that to celluloid, and so there is that aspect that I might, when it's done with conviction, right? It's all about conviction. So and we all enjoy the movie, so we didn't care a whole lot.
Yeah, I just always assumed she was talking to her mother on the phone. That, like, even at the payphone when he comes out of the diner, and she's supposed to be talking to Scott, her boy. And then when she goes to the house and she says, "Do you mind if I make a call?" And I think she was letting the mother know, I'm in the house, like I'm here. I like you said, there's a lot of, you just kind of go with it.
I have a theory.
You just go with it.
I have a theory. There is no boyfriend. She is her boyfriend. No, but yeah, I agree. She's talking to her mom, just like when Norman came out of court and Vera Miles is on the phone there. I'll talk to you later. She's talking to her daughter.
Yeah.
All right. Phase 1. Go to work at the diner.
Right.
All right. But the thing I latched onto is in the scene that we just saw, and I can run it back a tiny bit. Yeah.
That shot of him in the window was a poster in his office for a Japanese release of the film.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Japanese have the coolest posters. But she gives us a whole rundown about how she locked him in the attic so she could move all the furniture down the back stairs.
Yeah. That's a hard one.
I don't want to move furniture even as a paid employee, let alone for my
Right.
crazy mom to help this wacko go back to the booby hatch, I believe it's the technical term for it.
Yeah.
But that was the part I latched on
hours
to.
while I took everything down the back stairs.
So she's moving furniture while he's locked in the attic.
Yeah.
What difference does it make?
Here's a moment here, a sympathetic moment for Norman. Yeah,
Yeah.
the poor schmuck, he was cured, and all because what's her name is Loomis there. He's losing his grip on reality. It's sad. Sweet moment. All right, so there's our clip package there. Yeah, I don't like to give away too much.
I was going to say, you didn't show the big ending.
No, no spoilers, right? It's a 43-year-old movie. But we can talk about Mrs. Spool.
God, 43 years. Oh my God.
Yeah, seems like only yesterday. Well, I don't want to forget any of my notes. 83, for me, this was the year of Robert Loggia. Sure, I had seen him and stuff before, but after this, he follows up with Scarface.
Scarface,
you know,
yeah.
And we fell in love with... Go ahead.
No, I definitely wanted to say about Robert Loggia. He was my favorite performance in the movie. Outside of,
It's understated. It's understated. Yeah.
It's understated. Exactly. He was just, which is, completely the opposite of his Scarface role. Completely understated and just, really just cool for Robert.
And they gave him a gruesome death.
A comically gruesome death.
Yeah.
That pause.
Yeah.
That
and then the sound that,
Yeah.
That's this film's version of the Martin Balsam death in
yeah,
Psycho.
definitely.
And Dean Cundy cinematography.
Yep, Dean did it. Yep.
He's a friend of yours?
Yes.
I love Dean Cundy. He's probably my favorite. I mean,
he's a really nice man.
Carpenter films alone, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future. The score by Jerry Goldsmith.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts, BVG?
One of the worst parts of this movie.
You don't care for the score?
No. It sounded, and this is also, I feel this way about the movie again. It's different when you saw something as a kid and you had this reverence for it. I didn't remember it. I just remembered certain scenes from it. So I didn't hold some I saw and I loved and you forgive it. Watching it again now, it just, the score, especially for Jerry Goldsmith, it was really just like a melodramatic, like a made for TV score. And the movie overall had a made for TV vibe for me, just and the score definitely just like this melodramatic, music. I just didn't really care for it.
Yeah, I can understand that. I like Goldsmith, but not all of his scores. And I was considering that while rewatching the movie. On the one hand, Sherry's not trying to outdo Bernard Herrmann, which you really couldn't do with, like you said, being distracting and drawing too much attention to the previous movie. And there's some nice touches and stings and everything. But I have no problem with someone who doesn't enjoy the score. What do you think of the score, H-Bomb?
I would agree with BVG on that. I felt that the score did not fit.
Okay.
I really liked what you said. You had like a TV kind of feel, definitely. And then there were some really weird sound effects that were mixed in with like the bow.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And it was I remember sitting in the theater even going like, okay, like I agree. I think it was an ill-fitting score. I agree.
Sounds like someone's stomach growling.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just almost like you said, not even just TV score. It was kind of like he went, okay, I'll do this, and like in 3 days he composed it.
All those like the scenes when he's at home when he first gets there, the emotional scenes, it felt like they would have been perfect in Somewhere in Time. That's
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Now here's the question I want to pose to you boys. What if Lila Loomis had just left him alone? Mrs. Spool is still there.
Yeah.
Do they have a reunion? What happens?
Well, she's still going to be leaving notes, right? She was doing that from the get-go and already set up. She already had the notes at his house when he got there, so she was already going to start fucking with him right from the get-go.
H-Bomb, was it Mrs. Spool leaving the notes, or was it Lila Loomis?
I think it was a mix. I think BVG's right. I think I'm not so sure about the note in the beginning under the phone. I think Lila probably did that because but then again, we don't know. Somebody was in the house when he came home. So we don't know. Was that Lila? Was it Mrs. Spool? We don't know.
But
Now, go ahead.
that's the comical thing though, because right, who's doing what? Because you don't know for partway through the movie, and then there you get the reveals. But I'm like, are they just all like going into the house and not seeing each other? And
Right.
one's moving because one just killed somebody in the basement, the other one's moving furniture around upstairs, and it's just like nobody comes across each other, you know?
Yeah, nobody heard those kids screaming in the basement. The
Can you
girl was
imagine?
screaming, and yeah, nobody heard that.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine Lila Loomis and Emma Spool just like running into each other in the hallway? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hello. Oh, yeah.
Or it
That's
turns into that Scooby-Doo thing when they're chasing each other through the
Yeah,
hallways.
yeah, yeah. Because that was that scene when Meg Tilly was in the shower and sees somebody looking at her, and then
Yeah.
she's going around, and then she sees him on the other side. It's just like,
that's Emma Spool,
wh-
right? Unless it's her mom watching her,
yeah,
or Mister Toomey. No, wait, he was dead by
He
then. I
was
forgot.
dead. He was dead.
Um, yeah, that's what. I think you're right, BVG, because that note on the wheel at the diner said, "Get the whore out of my house," and that would have had to have been Mrs.
I would
Spool.
think that was
yeah.
Mrs. Spool. Yeah.
It could have started with Lila, with like the
Right.
first one when he came home,
Under
but
the phone, yeah. Who left that one? That had to be Lila.
Maybe. I don't know.
So both of them are doing it. What a
Somebody was
mess!
definitely in the house
It's
when
so
they got
what?
home, because you hear the back door, that basement door or whatever it is, that you heard it slam, and both of them, even the doctor and Norman, look, and Norman says when he gets out of the car, I thought I saw someone in the window, and Dr. Raymond's just like, oh, it's just, nerves kind of thing.
yeah.
Let's talk about the sequels. Psycho 3, H-bomb.
Uh, I saw it in theaters originally. I remember leaving not particularly liking it, only because it took such a 180 on the tone. It was very darkly lit throughout the whole movie. Uh, I don't know if I still didn't know how to take Diana Scarwood at that time. Um, it was hard to measure her out. However, over the years, it's been rehabbed, and especially one of the few. I only met Anthony Perkins that one day. Like that was it. It wasn't like I dropped in on him afterwards, but he was very upset at the failure of Psycho 3,
He directed that
and
one,
so I
right?
felt
Yeah,
badly.
he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he directed it. Yeah, and he took it really personally that it bombed the way that it did, especially in comparison to box office of the previous ones. So over the years, I've watched it, and I feel it's been rehabbed. But I will say Roberta Maxwell, who played the reporter,
Who was in Popeye?
who was in Popeye, she was Mama Nana Oil. She was stellar. She was absolutely stellar.
BVG, Psycho 3.
I have no memory of the movie. I know I've seen it. I know I saw every horror movie in the '80s that came out, but I have no memory of it other than it has Jeff Fahey, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he was great. Jeff
I
Fahey was great. Yeah.
I agree with you, H-bomb. I didn't like it when I first saw it. It felt kind of sleazy. I still had
Yeah,
I was still
sleazy.
I was
Yeah.
still a young fella back then. It came out in '86, by the way. I
Yep.
was still a young innocent fella back then. I remember going to see Scarface in the cinema and flinching at every use of profanity because it was such a barrage. I wasn't accustomed to it. But yeah, Psycho 3. But then I grew to enjoy it, and it's easily my favorite of the sequels. My main problem with Psycho 2, gentlemen, I like the overall production and the ideas and the cast and the acting and everything. I have an issue with anxiety movies. Where the audience sees stuff going on, but the characters don't. Didn't you see that? Didn't you see? No, I didn't see nothing. It was like, well, when are we going to get to it? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like being
Yeah.
strung along like that. It all goes back to the Warner Brothers cartoon, the One Froggy Evening, where nobody else sees the frog dance. Well, we see him. What? I have a problem with anxiety movies. Psycho 4, BVG. Have you seen Psycho 4?
Yes. Now this is if I remember correctly, it has the, it takes the sequels out of the equation, right?
Yep.
It's a direct, and he calls into a radio station, right?
Yeah.
So is it supposed to be again? It's been a long time since I've seen it. It was like a cable movie too, right? Didn't go to
Yes,
theaters.
it was
You're correct.
Showtime.
Okay, so he's now out What's the
Yes,
premise?
yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah, he got back out again. Yeah. He calls into a radio show there. It's really just a setup.
He's married.
Yeah, he's married.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
And she's pregnant.
Right. Yeah.
it's just so they could do a prequel story, which
Oh, right.
with Henry Thomas from E.T.
Yeah, Henry Thomas.
as young as young Norman Bates, and Olivia Hussey.
Yeah,
as
which was
Mrs.
an
Bates.
odd choice.
Yeah. I didn't like the movie because I didn't care about the prequel. I wanted to see more Perkins in it. It's cute. It's all right. It's directed by Mick Garris.
Yeah.
He seems like a nice guy and a big movie fan and all that stuff, but I just don't enjoy his work as a director. H-Bomb, Psycho 4, real quick.
Yeah, I concur. I thought it was a dud, a total misfire, and a really bad idea to circumvent the sequels and the canon that was already established. And a lot of what they did just didn't make sense. And then, the ending where Garrus has the rocking chair going and all of that, it was kind of like almost like they're winking at you at the end. It's and then they changed things. I don't ever remember any part of the story where Norman's father was killed by bees. I don't remember anything like that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, even in the original film, which that's what it's doing, is saying the original, it's like a Halloween thing, right? The original happened, everything else didn't.
Oh, you know what? I think that Joseph Stefano wrote the script for that.
He
I think
did.
they got him back. Oh, see. Go ahead, BVG. What were you going to say?
No, I think it would have been better served if it was just a straight prequel.
Yeah.
Other than, and just, which is the thing, right? Let's go back and tell, not that I would care to see, the prequel stories like in anyone, but that would have been a better thing. But,
I
they
agree.
wanted to get
Yeah.
Anthony Perkins back. So,
and there was a TV series. I didn't see it. Any you gentlemen have any knowledge or information on this? Bates Motel, I believe it's called.
There was, and I was trying to look this up the other day because I know that there was the Bates Motel was with Bud Cort from Harold and Maude.
Yeah, Bud Cort, yeah.
But I remember a different.
Wait, there's another one, isn't there? After that, like a recent one.
Yeah, there's the recent one, but I remember another show, but I couldn't find anything about it. But I remember another show where it was like a bunch of kids partying at the hotel or the house. It was like a big party. It was the Psycho house and hotel, but it was a bunch of teenagers or whatever having a huge party.
I think you're thinking of Psycho 3. They have a homecoming party there. It's a big
They had a homecoming party in Psycho 3. Yeah. The one TV show that they did, it was a pilot, I think, and
the Bud Cort one.
Yeah.
Okay, kind of
that was a pilot, and it never took off.
Okay. And how about the remake, which I think came out in 1998, directed by Gus Van Sant?
Nope.
Useless.
I had no problem with it. The idea of it being made in color with a new cast, kind of like a new version of a famous play or something with different actors. My only issue with I would revisit it frequently if it weren't for the miscasting of the two leads, Vince Vaughn and what's her face, Anne Heche, who ruined movies for a brief period of time and thankfully is no longer doing that. But yeah, everyone really hates that movie, but James Remar's in there, Bill Macy, you got Viggo Mortensen, Julianne Moore, Rance Howard, Chad Everett. I love everything. I love all that shit. I don't care if it's a shot-by-shot remake. I think that's fun. Certainly better than calling something a remake and using the title and then straying away from whatever it was that was good about the other movie. Just those two leads. If only they'd cast different people in those two roles. I have it on the shelf, but I'd watch it more frequently. Go ahead, BVG.
I saw it at the time, but I don't remember it. It is what it is.
H-Bomb, you just don't like the idea of it? You didn't like the movie? I bet you went into it just like you did in Psycho.
So it's not like it was made badly, and Gus Van Sant is hardly a bad filmmaker. It was just, for me, it's like, why?
Yeah.
All right.
I did like that newer show, though. I think that was pretty good.
It's also called Bates Motel, right?
Yeah, Bates Motel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's my theory on the reason. This is one of those movies that doesn't lend itself to serialization. It's kind of a one-off. And my theory is the reason why they kept making the sequels and the TV series is because that house on the Universal lot with all those tourists going by it. There's the house, from that movie 62 years ago. No, it's from this latest TV series. You should all tune in and watch it on Peacock or whatever. What do you think of my theory, BVG?
Probably not far off.
Yeah, probably not.
Right, H-Bomb?
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree.
You were correct, BBG, that Anthony Perkins did direct Psycho 3, and I thought he did a terrific job.
I do too. I think Psycho 3 is a worthy sequel, even though it doesn't really do much to advance anything and kind of just reverses the plot of Psycho 2.
I don't care. I don't even put the other movies in my mind when I watch it, except for the fact that it makes reference in a sly way, like when Norman dressed up as a mother actually rescues someone instead of killing him because she already cut her wrists. Cool. A script by Charles Edward Pogue, who wrote the Fly remake, Cronenberg movie. Yeah, I love it. It's a favorite. I probably watched it too many times now, so I'm kind of numb to it, but I hold it in high esteem. Gentlemen, you've been very generous with your time. Any final thoughts before we zip this one up?
No, I'd like to have BVG back more, and I hope I didn't talk too much, because I'd love to even just privately hear more of your career and what you've done, like in far more detail. So
sure, hit me up, man.
Watch Harrison Smith's movie Slow Burn free on Rad TV.
Farewell and adieu, you fair Spanish ladies.
It's the Dame Taft Movie Show, hosted by my nephew, Screww.
Here's somebody you want to say hi to.
Oh, the doggy! I would pet him.
Wait.
That's a girl dog or a boy dog?
And
wow!
There's Ozzy.
Oh wow! Look at him! Oh, he's all tuckered out.
Oh yeah.